globe to administer to oversee, if you will, you know, and to set up economic hitmen, you know what I mean, to fund wars, you see. But it was all for the cause, you know what I mean, of, you know, this impending war that's going to happen, you know, with the small hats in America.
That's like you said, you know, because he's setting them against each other, you know what I'm saying? What did Yahweh Shai say? If Satan cast out Satan, how can the nation stand?
That's what I can't think of it.
That's on Matthew 12:26.
Egyptian against the Egyptians. Yeah.
You gotta get that too.
Yeah, but this place is
Esau always been at war with himself.
If you think Esau don't give a fuck about you, he don't give a fuck about his fellow kinsmen.
The scripture says, he said that man that loveth himself, how can he love his brother if he hated himself?
Yeah. He's evil to himself.
Who can he be good to?
And see, that's the duality of the scriptures. See, because the Lord tells us to love thy neighbor as thyself.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's heavy. That's heavy.
I bring that over. You bring out that other scripture, Egyptian against the Egyptians.
Yeah, that's it.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 26. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom shall stand? How can it stand if everybody against each other? Just like how you got these unity camps. Everybody want to come to you, but if you believe in different doctrines, how can we stand?
Right.
Because eventually y'all gonna bump heads.
Right.
That's just how it goes. That's how the Lord set it up.
Right.
You know. So if Esau against each other, they even to go back to Rome, how they were stabbing each other, killing each other to get to that emperor seat, to be the emperor.
Yeah.
And that's how Rome fell. And that's how we fell in the Renaissance period. You know, that's how Esau was able to come get us, because we was against each other. You had the Moors, which was the Muslims, which was Israelites, going against the Christian Crusade, which was Israelites, and we was battling with each other.
Right.
Yep. There's no common ground.
To ground. Yep.
This is the book of Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
So now, so that's the Edomite nation. Say they was all supposed to rule together in unison, but for some reason they just can't get it together. Everybody they greed. They greed is going to destroy them, because they trying to get into that power seat instead of just working together and just ruling it as a unit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they're going to fall.
That right there, but it said Egyptian.
Right.
So how do you equate that to being Esau?
Read that again.
This is the book of Isaiah, book chapter 19 and verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Right. That's not talking about Egyptians in Egypt?
Nope, they're not. Because how is that talking about? He gonna set the Egyptian against the Egypt? Did Egypt fight against each other back then? Where it was another country called Egypt? No.
Well, it tells you that the part of the curses is that I will bring you back into Egypt again. And what the Bible specifying Egypt what's it, the blue letter or the etymology, it goes into
servitude.
Yeah, but it's another word for it. Bondage. So we liken Egypt into bondage because what were the Israelites doing in Egypt? They were serving under Pharaoh, building up the pyramids. So, that's like you got robbed or something in a certain hood, and somebody be like, hey man, I might go over here and pick up, my girl over here on Hudson and Roycroft. And you be like, what? Hudson and Roycroft? Hell no, I won't go Hudson and Roycroft.
I got a precept too to show you. When he said Egypt against Egypt, Lord compared Esau to Egypt and Pharaoh, because even Romans chapter 9 verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So he comparing Esau as the modern day Pharaoh.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So this is like he said, this is Egypt, the house of bondage, which is Mazraim. Mazraim was the house of restraint.
Okay.
You know, that was his name.
Okay.
So that's how the Lord do. He compares different kingdoms and use it as, you know, a future reference as well.
Revelation 11 and verse 8.
Yes. Revelation.
Will tell you that power is translated from one kingdom to the next. So, you know, just because there's a name on it, it's still the same people in a lot of cases. Go ahead, bro.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, and where also our Lord was crucified. You know, I remember I was talking to a person, he said that when I read the scripture, he was like, see, that's talking about Jerusalem. I said, no. When that means he was crucified, that means they destroyed what the Lord was about. You know, they destroyed him by saying that two men can marry, two women can marry. And Lord said that, you know, if a man marries a man, you should put him to death. You know?
But that's going into also too when it says their dead bodies shall lie in the streets. The Sodom and Egypt is talking about our captivity here on this side. So this is what's likened into Egypt.
There you go. That's why I wanted. That's why.
Oh, that's what you
Yeah.
That's why it says spiritually.
My brother.
Yeah.
Shalom.
That's why it says spiritually.
Yeah.
Because right now it's not carnally
Right,
easy.
Yeah. How you doing, brother?
Right, good.
All right, man.
Take
Because right here, I have what you have, a good old American dollar. And can somebody please tell me why is there a pyramid on the back of this goddamn dollar, man?
So that's
No.
what it means when it says Egyptian. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I understand with the precepts you brought up. Because someone could say this all day, but until you bring the precepts out,
Right.
they got nothing to say against it.
Right.
and thank you for backing that up, what you guys said too.
Right. Well, the scriptures tell you that.
Even
you know.
even that
Okay, bro.
even in Washington, you got that the obelisk,
Yeah.
which is called the Cleopatra needle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's another sign that this is spiritual
Oh
Egypt.
wow, I didn't know that.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. I believe it was the Elder Monaghan was going into it. Now, I don't know if it's the complete height of the obelisk or what's below it, but it equals out to 666 feet.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well,
Literally.
literally.
they said that if you were to, I don't know if it was the go underground of what you would call Washington D.C., that the whole infrastructure or the design of the streets is shaped in satanic patterns, and I think it's a what do they call that thing? What's that star they got?
Pentagram?
The pentagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says that the where the White House
Bird's
sits.
eye view.
Yeah, from the bird's eye view. Yeah, it's like that the streets are deliberately created in satanic patterns.
And also too, if I can add about, the DC is wicked. Back when a minute ago, there's a restaurant named like Thomas Pizza, and that restaurant it was like known to have like, you know, like some rituals.
Pizzagate.
Yeah.
The Pizzagate
Like
scandal.
the whole prom show over there in DC is called Thomas Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This is
DC.
the Toy Story.
Yeah, yep. So that
They
whole
had
shit-
it in the cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, in that wow.
So that whole shit, DC is a very satanic, you know.
That's why there's a lot of crime right there. You would think that that's supposed to be the capital of the United States. It would be cleaned up, man.
Right.
You know, I have people that live there. They say, man, that's just messed up.
But that's
all
my
types of
point.
cracks.
That's my point I was gonna make. And who fills up them cities? Them streets there. Jake. And what it said, Jake would be
Terrible.
yeah, but Jake would be the head of every infliction. You know, we would be number one in black on black crime, drug use, prostitution, whoring, whatever you name, Jake is gonna be the head of the shit. And that's why you got cities like Chirac, okay, Chocolate City, okay. You know, Jake fills up these city streets, man. You know, but the scripture tells you that cursed shall thy be in the city, and cursed shall thy be in the field. So we cursed in these urban, you know what I mean, suburban areas. You know what I mean? Because it's getting bad now with Jake is trying to move out the hood, trying to escape the curses, but what you can't. It's like what they say. You can take the monkey out the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out the monkey. So what they gonna do? They gonna go out to Greece, because Greece is the new hood out there. It's a lot of crime out there in them little townhouses. And shit, Jake out there terrorizing shit. Okay, and what happens? White flight. Okay, the white people start moving out. And what they doing? Okay, they're what they call what's that term they call when white people move in the neighborhood? Gentrification. So they tricking you dumbass niggas, okay? Alright? Esau want his city, he want his caves back. Okay? A lot of these structures remind these motherfuckers of the Caucasus Mountain, man. You know, look at the architectural designs of these pillars and shit. You know? Yeah, Esau is a base man, you know? Dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks.
You gotta get that precept too, man.
No?
I mentioned it.
Like I got this precept to show you the curses. He was just talking about how Jake will be ahead of every city. The book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the heads of all the streets as a wild bull and a net. They are full of fury and the Lord and rebuke of thy power. Because that's the spirit. Because you know in Philly, you know what they slang is? Young bull. A young bull. Young bull. You know that's crazy. That's that. The curses come. That the curses jumping right out the book. Prophecy where we will be. We were heads on all the streets. We hanging on the block, hustling. Some just out there just to be hanging out there, and we snared in that trap. Because they put the coke. You know, the CIA put all the drugs and guns out there for us to kill each other and sell drugs, and then bag us, put us in prison. All the rich people, you know, built prisons so they can make money off, and then put the drugs back on the street and keep that cycle going, and keep us snared.
Okay, this is the book of Obadiah. 1, and I'll start at 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Okay, and that's going into Esau. He's small amongst the heathens because Esau is the top heathen of the heathen nations. Okay, you got Moab.
Yeah, that's even going into what we just read about the least of the flock.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And thou art greatly despised. Okay, everybody hate the goddamn white man. Newsflash, but motherfucker ain't know. Okay, all right. Esau has just been able to bully his way into these foreign lands. Okay, and obviously people have a mentality of fight or flight, and they have a saying: if you can't beat them, what? Join them. So a lot of these dictators, a lot of these presidents, prime ministers of these countries, they take a bag, okay? And what they do, like every politician do, they fill your head up with lies and say, well, we're gonna do this and do that for you. And all along, these people are accepting filthy lucre and rocking their people to sleep, trying to feed their family and themselves to keep themselves alive and going. But continuing on, it says, the pride of the Obadiah 3, 1 and 3, the pride of thine heart, the mind, okay, hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. And that's what I was going into, these modern constructions of these skyscrapers. You know, a lot of them have I was gonna say prehistoric, but Roman Greco
caveman type
feel to them.
Yeah.
Because the structures like the pillars in Rome, the Colosseums, a lot of these structures have the design of that. And you're right, it ultimately was in Mount Petra, okay, Georgia, the Caucasus Mountain, in Georgia, Russia.
America is like one big cave.
You see?
That's why they got all the concrete and all that, because they mined them of the cave.
Yeah, and we gonna make these motherfuckers tear all this shit up, and they gonna what? Make big rocks into little rocks, and little rocks into pebbles. Okay? Whose habitation is high, skyscrapers, because in the scriptures it tells you that you're not supposed to build a building more than what? 4 stories high? 2 stories? Somewhere in there? Because what? What's gonna happen if all this concrete, iron, metal collapse down on you? You're gonna fucking die. Okay? You're gonna fucking die. And it says, that saith in his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay? And
That's a real pride. He got a prideful mind. Like, who could beat America? You seen on somebody posted up with it. Edomite said that. America, we got all the weapons, man.
Right.
Who's gonna beat us?
What's deeper than that? It's his spirit. It's his spirit is prideful. It says that the spirit that's in him is not upright. In him. So, you know what I mean? He was created. That goes back into the vessel of dishonor. He was created to be the bad guy. You see what I'm saying?
And he think that he is God.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a God complex mentality. There was a movie actually went into there. It's like a lot of the surgeons. The surgeons is really like the deciders of life and death for a lot of these people. Like I think it was the doctor that patched 50 Cent ass up. He's suing him. Or he was suing him, talking about he's the reason why he alive. You know, he run around here like he, you know what I'm saying, God, and you know, he can't be killed, right. But it's the surgeon. Right. And who gives the surgeon the ability to do those sutures and the stitches and to take the bullets out and, you know what I mean, to regulate the blood, stop the blood, put pressure here. The Lord did that.
Is Esau God?
Yeah, he's the God of this world.
There you go.
He's the God of this world. He's the prince of the air. It's Satan. You know what I mean? He's the counterpart.
It's a precept. Get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4.
There you go.
Because he's like, you got the Pope set up, like you can forgive you for sins, like he's the
all the
victim.
Jews.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I think they just had the first Pope ever to retire.
Oh.
I think they said something happened with his ass. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Because he's sitting in the temple. You know, temple was what? He over Israel. He figured he's over. That's why he wanted to put a chip on us. He speak great words against the Most High. Like, what's that dude? Noah Harari saying that he's a Jesus Christ, what you would call him. It's fake news. You know?
Yeah.
So he exalted himself over the Lord's people.
Right.
You know, this world. He want to be that guy. He want to be that victim. He want to be the one that you come to him for everything. His false technology, his left hand magic.
And that goes into too when they invaded the temple, they defiled the temple. They went in there sacrificing pigs and shit. You know, they took the treasure out, the cups of gold and silver, and they defiled the temple. So he sat up in the temple as if he was God. You see? Yeah, that's heavy. Okay. Remember ye not that when I was yet with, okay. That's it. Yeah, man. This place is bound to fall. Okay? Alright? There's no way in hell that you can sit up here in any right mind and think that you could sow all this wickedness in the earth, you know, and at least on this side alone, the travesties that happen with what? Our brothers, you know what I mean? First of all, the Native Americans, you know what I mean? When they got conquered by the conquistadors starting out, with the motherfucker's name.
Christopher.
No, not Columbus. The conquistadors. Valdez and all them motherfuckers. You know, it's a lot of different names.
Okay, yeah.
But it started with the
Cortez,
it started with the conquistadors. Then came Christopher Colombo. Okay, all right. Then came the settlers, the pilgrims and shit. Okay, they came over here pushing that fucking cross, and Christianity. Okay, then they lazy asses came over here, and then didn't want to put the work in to farm the land. So what? They brought Judites over here, okay, as slaves, okay, and they want to get rid of that in your modern day textbooks, and what they call it, the critical race theory, CRT, okay. They want to keep our children blind to the fact of what happened to us, okay.
Yeah, the little precept of that too. So 2 and 4, it's Isaiah 14 and 13, because he said he exalted himself as God, right? And he said, "For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into the heavens. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation on this side of the north." The congregation is Israel. He's sitting on top of us, ruling over us. You know what I'm saying? And he's sitting on God's people. He want to control God's people. You know, which is us. You know, that's why he got that God, like the brother say, he got a God complex. You know, he puts up all this false image of himself so we can worship him. You ever seen that video on YouTube where when the Edomite lady, old lady, was telling the Jake lady that her father was one of the people back in the days that was setting up the Caesar Borgia pictures to worship. That was a control that they was using that to control us, to worship him. You can go on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Well, ultimately, it goes into the whole Jacob and Esau. After I mourned my father, he vowed to slay Jacob. So it's a perpetual hatred that Esau has for us. That's why when you look at world history, white supremacy, what's the two components? Black and white. Okay, those are the two arch enemies that play out on the earth. Okay, and they teach the other nations to hate us. You know, a lot of the people that come over here, you know, they start getting into YouTube and they start telling their stories of how, you know, they groom them. They groom them and they say, stay away from those blacks. Okay, they think they're from Africa. That's fine, but understand that, you know, they have high crime in their neighborhood. They will rob and kill you at the drop of a dime. Okay, you know, create your own communities. We're going to set you up over them. We're going to give you thousands of dollars, okay, in assistance a month, so that you can become what you told me when we came over there, what you wanted to do in life, and we told you we bring you over to America. We'll make it happen. Okay, but just don't fuck with those niggers and spits. Okay,
That sounds like the private council to me.
that's a private count. That's a private council.
I get that. Psalms 83.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they are confederate against us, man. You know what I'm saying? And these other nations is all for it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's kind of like, okay, if you had to choose eating a steak and peanuts, what you gonna choose? You gonna choose to eat the steak.
That damn steak.
Okay? So why would these nations say, hey, we gonna go be in a lowly state with the niggas in America, and, you know, we just gonna be in the ghettos and the slums and everything gonna be all right?
Book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, that they and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So, like he said, that these all nations came together as a council. That tumult is an angry gathering.
Yeah.
So they sat down in, you know, think tanks, and just like the World Economic Forum, stuff like that. They came and they devised an evil plot. That's
Right.
where you get conspiracy from, to, conspiracy to comply to do evil. So they try to get this, so we're gonna separate them. We're gonna call them Puerto Ricans. We're gonna, y'all gonna take over that area, call them
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans,
Yeah.
and make them act like they different
Yeah.
from that, in which we the same tribe. That's that Willie Lynch,
Right.
like
That
mentality
goes
and
into that
spirit.
whole scripture that stated that consulted against thy head once because was hid from us.
Yep.
Our nationality, or who we truly are.
Make them
So we
the-
think we niggas and spicks, okay, and engines and whatever derogatory names they've given us throughout the years. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it says that in the place of thy captivity, thou should know that I have loved thee. You know.
You gotta get that. Yep.
You know?
Hosea.
So yeah, we're gonna remember ourselves.
Even the scripture, you say they're called crafty counsel. They made us fight against each other. They use our women against us. They apply all types of devise all the types to keep us in sin.
Oh, Micah. What's that? Micah was that 21?
Like 2-1.
Yeah.
Book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devises iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When this morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. Because they got all the money, man. You got the evil elites, man. They the trickinaires. So they got all the money to cause mischief. See, a black man thinking that just because he gets some money, he think he's in a good place. That goes in what? To Ecclesiastes 7:7. Gift destroy the heart. And the so-called white man knows that about our people. That's why he does that. He'll give a simple ass Negro billions of dollars.
Just one, right?
Yeah. Just like we were saying yesterday about the crabs in the crab. He's the vendor, but he's the crab keeper too, because he can take the crabs out. You know what? I'm gonna take this crab out. He's from the rest of the crabs, and he's gonna be my token nigga. Through whatever. We gonna, you know what I'm saying? And look down on them other crabs and see, I'm the crab that made it. Y'all gotta come up there. Y'all gotta come up to my level. And the crabs is fighting to push each other to get up to, because they see the other crab made it.
Yeah.
Which is not designed for the other crabs to get out.
Right. That's it.
This is the book of Baruch. '20 and 30. Lock it. This is the book of Baruch 20 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. Okay? And this is not just talking about America. And in the land of our captivities, because we've been in captivities before. But ultimately it is talking about America, that because this is the only captivity where we discontinued from our heritage, to where we didn't know who we were at all. At least in other captivities, we had remnants of who we were, and we were able to actually carry on certain traditions. So, that's the crafty counsel. That's consulted against our head ones. Go ahead, brother.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse. Reproach means we will be hated, and curses that, we'll be at the bottom, we won't make it, we will fail at everything, right? And to be subject to payments. So we subject to payments. Haggai 1 and 6 and 7 about, holes in the bag.
Say that again.
You know what I'm saying? We will never get ahead.
Right.
Every time we turn around, man, we got bills. You know what I'm saying? We get our check, it's going one day.
Child support.
Child support. You got the wicked, nigga woman. She'll put you on child support for no reason.
And then on top of that, you got tax.
Yeah.
So you getting taxes on your paycheck.
Yeah. Well, it says that we will be subject under payments. See what I'm saying? That's how you know your dumb ass is still in slavery. Okay? But you ain't supposed to be. That shows you that there's a hierarchy. There's a rulership over you. You know what I mean? know. And I believe that America is like one of the only countries that when you so-called buy a property, you don't really own it because you have to pay taxes on it. Now stop paying them motherfucking taxes and see if the IRS don't swoop in and take it from you.
You don't own the land.
Huh?
You don't own the land.
You don't own the land.
You own the house, but not the land.
But even a house, because you stop paying the property taxes, they're gonna take the house too.
So that's right there. That's really a double whammy.
It's a double whammy. So you subject to payments due to land tax, to property tax. Okay.
That's the curses.
All right.
They set up a cruel lord over you.
And then I heard a few years ago, when I was in high school, like for example, say if you could like live in the city, and you like live somewhere like near like a stadium like Tampa, Florida Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I heard you gotta pay more for that.
Yeah, you
house
do.
because you close to the stadium.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're because when you go into different school districts, you go by the school district. They don't want your black ass going to their school districts because why? There's better education. Okay. What? Their children are out there. They don't want you integrating with them. Okay. So yeah, the taxes is higher in certain jurisdictions, certain areas of the city. You see what I'm saying? City taxes is way lower than the taxes in the Rondequoit. Trust me. Okay, I know about it.
Even when you try like moving like say like Fairport, Jake wouldn't like move to Fairport.
Yeah.
They like try to like base how you gonna get this house based off your credit.
Of course.
And you know
credit
Jake,
score.
you know credit score, high credit score. Who got the high credit score in the society? Esau.
Yeah.
Now of course you know, brother, he can have a high credit score, but for the most part it's Esau.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you know why? Because Jake credit already fucked up from a child. Because what? I remember my mom had the cable bill in my name.
Yup.
She had the phone bill in my name.
Yup.
And like she wasn't able to pay these bills. A lot of those utilities got cut off. And so what happened? There was a current bill, a debt that was owed. So when I went to apply for cable, they said, "Hey, Mr. Washington, you have a bill." And I'm like, "A bill from where? I've never had cable a day in my life." They was like, "Well, see here, on here, yeah, this is yeah, you wrote it, huh? Yeah." All right. Okay. Any other comments, questions before we close it out?
You close the precept.
Okay. All right, brothers. With that, we're gonna close up Kent. And we want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekal Kadash, Barakatam. Peace and salutations to the elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone that do well. And till next time, Lord willing or Lord forbid, Shalom. No? I'm tired of this place, man. I want this bitch to blow. ASAP, Rocky.
Yeah, I'm closing precept, man. Close camp.